Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 60 Days of Yoga and Strength program. I'm Kelly Western, if you haven't met me yet, and I'm glad that you're doing our program. So, for the next 8 weeks, we'll be working on getting strong and getting flexible. For my yoga program, I just want you to know that there's always modifications that you can make. Try to focus on what you can do and not what you can't do, and that'll make you feel really good because just getting out of bed sometimes is hard. So here we are, you've signed up for the program and you're ready to put some attention on your body and hopefully make you feel a little bit better. If you have any chronic pain, just kind of notice how you feel after the yoga practice. Sometimes when people are first starting a strong practice, they can tend to get sick or feeling really sore. So just go easy on yourself. Definitely drink a lot of water. That will help. And also, if any frustration or negative thoughts come up, just notice it and be compassionate with yourself. And you don't have to attach to those thoughts, they're just thoughts. So try to just let those negative thoughts go and readjust yourself to bringing in more positive energy, positive thoughts. You'll need a couple things for my yoga practices. One is a strap, which we use most classes. You don't need a strap. You can use something that's like a strap, like a big kitchen towel or a belt or tie. People use scarves. And 2 blocks. These are heavy cork blocks, but you can certainly get the foam blocks as well. I like the ones that are pretty big. I think this is called a 4-inch block. If you get the smaller ones, they're just a little bit wiggly when you're trying to support yourself. So 2 blocks and a strap and a place to do your yoga, and set aside the time and try not to let anything else get in the way. I know it's hard, but the most important part is that you have dedicated yourself to this time to taking care of yourself, and that's a really good thing. And everything else should get better from there. So let's get started. Hi, everybody, and ready for our yoga practice today. We're going to be focusing on the breath, which is the most important part of our yoga practice. So, all you really have to do to be successful in this practice is focus on your breath. We're going to do a full body practice. Anytime you need a break, just take a break. And yeah, I think that's all you need to know. So, we're going to start on the back. And why don't you just lie all the way onto your back. Once you get down here, stretch overhead from your fingertips to your toes. Get a nice stretch through your whole body. Maybe flex your feet, roll out your wrists. And inhale, a big breath in, hold it at the top, and a big sigh out your mouth. Relax your shoulders, relax your whole body back into the ground. And then do that a few more times. Inhale, stretching tall. You can imagine just you resetting your nervous system here. You're telling it, I'm just going to let go of, the tension I'm sort of holding in my body. All right. And if you need more, go for it. Otherwise, we'll start to move into our next stage, which is just circling the knees around. You could push them far away from you. You can pull them in towards your body a little bit more. And as you come into your yoga practice, you're going to start to breathe through the nose, a nice rhythmic breath in and out your nose. If that's hard for you and you'll have to breathe out your mouth or in through your mouth, then just work on it as much as you can. And if you're breathing through your mouth, see if you can make the rhythm, the breath even. That's why we breathe through the nose, so that it's just sort of the same inhale and exhale because it's got the same space that it's going through. If you were inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your mouth, you can get a lot more breath out quickly out your mouth. So it sort of makes us uneven. So we'll try to keep up with this nice even breath the whole yoga practice. And you'll notice sometimes you kind of forget to breathe, and that's usually when you're thinking about something else. So your mind is taking over, and then you go into your automatic nervous system, which just keeps you breathing. And usually that breath is nice and shallow, and we don't want that kind of breath in yoga. We want to bring lots of oxygen in. Let's keep a hold of the right knee and then stretch the left leg long on the ground. And then we'll just circle this right knee around so you can hold on to it with your right hand. See about how your whole body feels when you do this. And if your hips are moving around a lot, see if you can squeeze the stomach muscles nice and strong to keep the hips from moving all around, because that's sort of going to mess with your lower back. We don't want that. So if I keep my stomach muscles strong, then this hip doesn't move as much. Bring that knee into your chest and inhale. Give it a good squeeze in. Exhale, bring your head towards your knee. Inhale, bring your head back down to the ground. Exhale, release the knee slowly. So in yoga, we call it vinyasa when we move with the breath. So every movement has a breath. Inhale, knee into the chest. Exhale, squeeze the breath out, head to knee. Inhale the head back down. Exhale, release the knee. If we do it like this, we're definitely doing a nice rhythm. We've got intentional movement, and we're being really mindful because we're staying with the breath and the movement at the same time. So it's really hard to think about whatever it is you don't want to think about. Just letting go of your own daily stress for an hour is a really nice thing to do. Although this class probably not going to be an hour. But you could do it twice, and then it will be an hour maybe. All right, so we've done that a few times. Let's stretch the right leg up toward the ceiling and push the leg into the hands. Point and flex the foot a couple times and warm up the back of the leg. And I like to kind of give my leg a little massage just to help a little more circulation. You're bringing a lot of oxygen in. Hopefully it's going to your muscles. Keep breathing that long breath. And then let's bend this right knee and take it across the body to the left. Stretch your right arm out to the right. Relax your right shoulder toward the ground. Now we start to move the breath through different places in our body. Even though the breath really just goes into the lungs, our diaphragm moves down into our belly, and you can really kind of manipulate that to feel deeper pressure in your twist. So breathe down into your belly and see if that gives you a little bit more pressure, your back or your hip. And then we'll bring that leg back up, take both knees together, rock around a little bit, straighten out your back, and we'll do the other side. So keep a hold of the left knee, stretch the right leg long, and we'll start by circling this leg around. And that's a lot of transition, and it's like a little sneaky part where our brain kind of comes back in and starts taking us somewhere else. So we want to bring it back to the breath. And we'll bring this knee into the chest on the inhale. Exhale, bring your head towards your knee. Inhale the head back down to the ground. Exhale, release the knee slightly. Don't rush it. Take the whole inhale, knee to chest. The whole exhale, very slowly, head to knee. The whole inhale, back down. Exhale, release the knee. 2 more times. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, head to knee. Inhale, head back down. Exhale, release the knee. Last time. Stretch your leg up toward the ceiling. Hold the back of your leg. Push your leg into your hands. Give it a little warmth if you want. Massage, squeezing those hamstrings. Point and flex the foot. Now, sometimes people have a lot of forward head position. So when they get on the ground like this, their head is sort of kind of like this because their back sort of rounds forward and their head is in front of their body. If that is your case, as that's you, then maybe just a little tiny pillow. You want to encourage the head to drop back and the shoulders to drop back. But if you need the support because you're straining, please support yourself. And just know that that's hopefully not going to be forever. So, encourage yourself to come down as you can. Maybe your pillow gets smaller each week. Just kidding. Actually, I'm being serious. Take your knee across your body and then move your breath down into your belly. Try to push the belly out so it gets a little bit more stretch. Nice deep breaths into the stretch, into the twist. Relax the left shoulder toward the ground. and then back to center. Pull both knees into the chest and kind of rock around until you feel kind of straightening out here. Put your feet on the ground, hip width distance, and we'll get up for our bridge pose. This is really great for the glutes and the back body, strengthening everything. It's really nice for your posture. But sometimes people need a little bit of help getting those hips off the ground. So if you bend your elbows and push the backs of the upper arms into the ground, it will be a little easier to lift your hips. So keep lifting your hips as much as you can, and then see if you can squeeze the arms underneath you. The shoulder blades will pinch together, and then interlace your fingers. And all of that is optional. If you can't do that, don't worry. Maybe don't turn your head, though, when you're in it. I do it a lot because I have to look at the screen, but you might want to keep your head straight because that's a little bit of pressure on your neck there. So if you push back into the backs of the upper arms, squeeze your glutes, and keep pushing into the feet, see how high you can get your hips. Don't give up. Just keep pushing them up, and your back body is going to get stronger and stronger, especially those glutes. Really important for keeping your back healthy. If you have a lot of back problems, a lot of times just strengthening these glutes and encouraging them to support you, which is what they're supposed to do, is going to help take a lot of back pain away. One more big inhale right down into that belly again, and then exhale nice and slowly. One vertebrae at a time if it doesn't feel like it's pinching your back. And then let your back relax. Keep your knees bent. Just take a moment to rest. So we're going to balance some things that are hard with some rest. And that's exactly what the breath does for you. So the breath brings you energy, so you get nice and strong. And then the exhales are where you feel relaxed, or you feel you're letting something go, or you're surrendering, or you're softening. So we'll kind of balance that in this yoga practice today. Let's pull the knees into the chest and rock left and right a little bit. Then you can crisscross your ankles if you're confident about rocking and rolling up, or come onto your hands and knees. Once you get onto your hands and knees, we'll do some cat-cow. Spread your fingers so you keep your bones of your fingers in your hands nice and open. Tuck your toes under. Belly drops down on the inhale, looking up. On your exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, spread your shoulder blades. This sometimes pinches people's back, and if that is the case for you, don't round. It makes sense, but sometimes people sort of push into it, hoping that it will go away. Usually if we're feeling pinching, it's our nerves saying, ow. And if you keep poking something that is saying, ow, it's not going to be happy with you. You can go rogue here if you want and freestyle left and right. Anything you do to keep your spine open is going to be really great. Of course, most of the main nerves go right down your spinal cord. So come off of your spine. And so we want to keep the spine flexible and not rigid and like concrete or sticky or stale energy. Just want to get some good movement and circulation in there. Okay, now we'll move with our breath, pulling the knee into the chest. Again, it's the same thing. If it hurts when you put your head towards your knee, then just keep your head up and your spine kind of straight. On your inhale, push that foot up, squeeze the glutes, and lift your head. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lift it up. See how many you can do. I'm going to do 3 more. If you get tired early, that's good to think about because you start to get stronger as you do this video more often. And you'll notice, oh, now it doesn't hurt as much, or it doesn't feel like a lot of strain. These are probably not the right words to use, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't get tired now. That one's a lot easier than it was. And moving with the breath again. So exhale, squeezing. Inhale, arching. Exhale, squeezing. Squeezing all the breath out, squeezing your stomach muscles. Inhale, arching, and squeezing the glutes. Well, just the one glute. Exhale, squeezing. Inhale, arching. 2 more. If your hands and your wrists get tired, it's a little harder to do on your forearms, but you can certainly do it. or you can be on your fists, so you can always modify that. Let's take our little break. Knees go wide, big toes touching. Push your hips back towards your heels and rest your forehead to the ground if it goes. Otherwise, you can stay up and keep pushing those hips back. Keep reaching your hands forward. Breathe into the rib cage now. See if you can feel a stretch in the middle back, the sides. Rock a little left and right on your hips. Stay here for 3 more big breaths. Okay, and we're going to come all the way up, back onto the hands and knees. Take your right foot back and tuck the toes under so you're pressing into that heel. And then we'll rock forward and back, inhaling and exhaling, and just staying with that nice rhythmic breath. Trying to figure out what this dark thing is here. That's my strap. There's something in the way. All right, now let's lift this right leg off the ground. And again, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back of the leg, pull your belly in, and feel strong all the way from the back of the leg into the back. Lift the left arm off the ground. And if that seems really hard for you or you're falling over, just put your hand back down. And maybe after you do this video a couple times, you can start to lift the arm. It's always good when you can't do things because then you know when you can. And we'll drop the hand and the knee. Take it a little left and right or up and down in case we built any stickiness into that position. Anytime you build strength, you risk feeling a little stiff. So press that left heel out. Oops, I didn't stretch the heel out. Okay, we'll do that one first. Back and forth. Get a little stretch in the back of the leg. And then pick the leg up off the ground, nice and strong. Pull your belly in. So you're engaging those glute muscles. And then you're going to reach your stomach muscles. I mean, these are the stomachs, these are the glutes. And one more breath in and out. Hand and knee go back down. All right, here's our downward facing dog. So lifting up and back with the hips. Try to straighten your arms. You shouldn't be able to see your arms. So a lot of people kind of hold their downward dog forward. And that's just because their legs are tight, mostly. It could be because your arms are tight. I mean your shoulders. If you bend your knees and you bring your arms alongside your ears or even a little tiny bit behind your ears, then you're going to have a long spine, even if you have this crouchy downward facing dog. You can start to straighten the legs, but you might already feel the stretch here in these bent knees. Shake your head out, relax your shoulders. And this is another one that we're going to just see about moving with the breath. So on your inhale, come forward into plank. And what happens with me is I get kind of stuck, so I have to bring my feet back. And then exhale, go back into downward dog. So this is not my normal downward dog. It's a little bit wider, but you might also feel that happens to you. Inhale, plank, and then exhale, downward dog. So try to take the whole inhale to come forward. Hold for a second, and then exhale, up and back. I'm gonna do this, let's say, 5 more times after this one. And if this is hard for you, it's another one to just notice how many could you do before you have to take a break. And are you getting stronger as you practice? And hopefully you're practicing at least 3 times a week. And you should feel a difference. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, drop down onto your knees and we'll take a little break doing some shoulder stretches. So if you can sit back on your heels, that's great. If you want to stand up on your knees, I'm going to stand up on my knees because I have a little knee injury and an elbow injury. But it's all good. So here we go. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Roll your shoulders together, back and down. Tuck your chin. And we'll roll the neck out. Breathing into the neck and shoulders. And as always, just modify. If it hurts to move your head around like this, just keep your chin down into your chest. Pull your shoulders away from your ears that way. Only thing you're not allowed to stop doing is breathing. Okay, release those hands, and then we'll do the shoulder shrug with that exhale again. So that should feel really good. And you remember, in your life, you can take this with you. You could do this kind of thing any time of the day. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Feel that tension in there. You're squeezing it out, hopefully. And a big sigh, drop the shoulders. Do it a couple times. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. And in some of my classes, I make people do a free shoulder massage. And that always feels good, even though we forget that we can do that. What could make me feel better? Maybe a free massage. Hey. All right, and then we'll do our circles. So inhale, up, exhale, out, back, and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, out, back, and down. If you want to add the elbows, you're going to put your fingertips on your shoulders. Inhale, up. Exhale, out, back, and down. And inhale, up. Exhale, out, back, and down. And last one. All right, great. Good job. From here, let's do a wide-legged V. This is where I like to use my block. So if you take your block and just help your forward bend a little bit by keeping the weight in your hands. You can always let go and let your spine relax down, but most people either need a little bit of time with their hands holding most of the weight of your torso, or if I turn to the side, really just keeping your spine straight and trying to move right at the hips. So if the hips don't move and then you're rounding your back, you're going to get some pressure here. So try to tilt the tailbone up. I don't know if you can see that, but my top of my hips, my pelvis is turning down and my tailbone's going up. So for some people, they're going to have to bend the knees to do that. That way you have all the stretch coming from your legs. Now, do you want to stretch your back out? Sure. Lots of people need to stretch their back out. So you can relax your back down as long as you don't feel like someone is putting pressure, like as if they had a bar and they were trying to, like a steel bar or something. Well, let's say it's aluminum. And they were trying to bend it and all the pressure is right at that point. So that's how you feel in your lower back. You definitely need to take some of the pressure of gravity off and put it in your hands. So that's my lecture. Maybe bending one knee, bending the other knee. Feels good. See, if you're holding onto your head like I am, that's great. That's fine. We don't want the head to fall off, so it's good to hold on to it. But you can also let your neck relax here by letting your head hang heavy. And then let your shoulders hang heavy. You can still keep a lot of weight in your hands, but still let that cervical spine stretch out. And if you take a little image in your mind of your head being a real heavy bowling ball, might help to stretch your neck out a little more. We'll be here about 3 more breaths. And then just rounding up to standing. So if you toe heel your feet in a little bit, you can get more of your weight, right over your feet. Bend your knees, put your hands on your thighs, and we'll roll all the way up. Okay, so now that we're standing, let's start with our warrior one. And warrior one is when you face your front knee. So we'll start on the right leg first, bend into the right knee, and then take your left leg back so that you start to feel a stretch in the front of the leg. So I'll just kind of shuffle my foot back, and my foot is at a little bit of an angle towards 11 o'clock. So if my knee is facing 12, my foot is facing 11. And just check in with your feet. Make sure they're not lined up in one line. Your right foot should be on the right side and your left leg should be on the left side. Hands go to your hips and tuck your tailbone down as you pull your belly in, and you stand up real tall so that you have real good posture from your top of your head, shoulders, hips. Hopefully I look like I have good posture since I'm trying to be the example here. A lot of times people will lighten up on the back foot, but you want to anchor down through that back foot. So push down through the back foot, keep the belly pulled in, keep that front knee bending forward, and then let's see about interlacing the fingers, the last 3 fingers, the first fingers together. It's a fancy yoga hands. And then take the arms all the way up, arms right beside your ears. Your chest might kind of puff up a little bit. If that happens, just squeeze your core muscles a little bit more. Not that it's bad to puff your chest up. That's a good thing. You get a little back bend. Just want to keep yourself nice and supported through your core muscles. And then the glutes are really important here as well. So if they're not doing anything, you're kind of hanging on your hips and your quads and your hamstrings. So if you pull the glutes, squeeze them, these big muscles, they got to work. And now your mind is saying, this is a long time to hold this pose. Just breathe. And if you have to come out of it, no big deal. That's okay. You just found your max. I'm going to take 3 more breaths here. And you just know next time you do this video, if you make it the whole time, you're getting stronger. If you want to stay longer, go for it. All right. So look forward, take a big inhale, and then step feet together, and you'll feel a little bit of funny difference in the one leg versus the other. Left foot forward this time, right foot back. That right foot is angling out to the side. Take your hands to your hips, turn toward the front, and bend into that front knee. So the warrior feeling is firm foundation, nice strong base, good focus, nice rhythmic breath, bringing the energy in. And that exhale is bringing you like a nice soft, relaxing. So when you need to be strong in life, you also want to be calm and clear-headed, right? So that's what the warrior poses are about. Interlace your fingers behind your back this time. Roll your shoulders together, back and down. It might puff your chest up a little bit. Remember about squeezing the core muscles, squeezing the glutes. Sink into that front knee a little bit more. And then pump the breath through. Draw the breath in, push the breath out. Three more big breaths. And you feel the energy of this pose is a really big pose to create more confidence in your body, or in sort of your energy field, I suppose you could say. So if you feel nice and confident and strong, that's what Warrior 1 and Warrior 2 is about. So shake your legs out. Now obviously we have to do Warrior 2. So turn the right foot to the right, and the left foot is facing perpendicular to the right foot. Belly is facing the side as well, and your side body is kind of lined up with your front knee. Arms stretch right over your legs. And on your inhale, stretch up and reach your arms up. You can push both hands together if you want a little strengthening in the arms. And then exhale, sink low and feel the stretch in your hips. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, sink low. As you're sinking low, squeeze your glutes a lot. Inhale up, and exhale, sink low. I will do one more. Inhale, stretch up tall, and then exhale, sink down low. Hold your warrior, look over your right fingertips. Maybe you can go a little lower with your hips by walking your back foot back a little further, as long as you feel nice and solid here. 5 more breaths, which is a lot. So you just start with 3 or 4 breaths, and then the next time, see if you can hold for a few more. the breath in, push the breath out. Bring the breath in, push the breath out. Drop your arms, straighten that right leg, then turn to the other side. Bend the left knee, and that right foot is facing perpendicular to your left knee. Arms stretch long over your legs. On your inhale, stretch up. On your exhale, sink low. Squeeze your glutes. Keep your body nice and straight and strong. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink low. Feel those glutes working. And use the breath. Draw the breath in. Push the breath out. Your arms might be getting tired. That's okay. You just know you're building strength. And when you feel too tired, that's a good time to take a break. When you feel tired, you know you've hit your max. So maybe you're just doing this. Otherwise, you're risking injury. And then you got to tape yourself up like I do. Just kidding. All right, let's hold this. Here, feel nice and strong. Lifting up tall. Got a good focus. Looking over those front fingertips. We'll take about 5 more breaths. So what do you want to be strong for? What do you want to be focused? You know, when you're going through something, you want to feel this strength, this focus, and also this nice peaceful energy. So your head can be clear, your mind, your heart, your body, everything can be nice and strong, but still with a nice balance. And then drop the hands, straighten that leg, toe heel the feet in, and shake everything out. Make sure everything feels good. Check in with your joints, your shoulders especially. Those get my shoulders kind of tired. So we've done Warrior 1, we've done Warrior 2, so here's Warrior 3. People find this pretty challenging, and so do I. So Warrior 3 is a balance, and what you want to do with the balance poses is find a drishti spot. That means a spot that you just stare at. Don't move that gaze from your drishti. So the right foot is going to stand, and then your whole back body, just like when we're on our knees, is going to be strong as you lift that leg off the ground. Start to hinge forward, and try not to collapse in the shoulders. So if you're doing that, pull your shoulder blades back onto your back, open through your heart, hands to the heart, and just come off a little bit. Toes point down, heel points up. Your standing leg can be very bent. Can be as bent as you need it to be. Of course, eventually you want it to be straight, but I even bend my knee. And I'm a professional. So see if you can get parallel to the ground. And then I feel this stretch in my leg here, and I'm not that warmed up, so that's why I'm keeping my knee bent. When you get out of this one, soften and step back. It's really important to come in and out of the yoga poses with a lot of mindfulness. Here's an option that you can do instead of that one if you want a little bit of support with the blocks, or do the same exact one. Hands on the blocks underneath your shoulders, and then lift your leg up. Again, think about a strong straight back, so you don't want to be rounding forward. That's not going to be very good for your back. The heel goes up, the toes go down. Pump the breath through. And this one, instead of stepping back, you're going to bend your knees, get your weight over your feet, and then stand up straight. Okay, great. So those are really good Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Warrior 3 exercises to do. From here, we're going to get down into our plank position. So soften your knees, get your hands to the ground, and step back into your plank. If it's better for you with the knees down, just lean forward until you feel like it's hard for you. And if you have your knees off the ground, you're going to squeeze your legs strong and keep your hips up so it doesn't hurt your back. You can always check in to see how low you can bring your hips, as long as you don't feel that in your back. So we're going to go 5 more breaths. See if you make it through the whole time. And if you take a break, you take a break. last exhale, drop your knees down to the ground. Get yourself set up so your hands underneath the shoulders again, knees underneath the hips. We'll take a little twist, but we'll put a little core work into it. So on your inhale, you're going to reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. And on your exhale, reach it through, squeeze your core muscles, hold for a second. Inhale back up, and exhale, take it through. Inhale up, exhale, take it through. And one more. This time we're going to land the shoulder to the ground. Peek underneath your right armpit or stretch your arm over your head. And then if you collapse this right side down, you're not going to get much of a twist. So you want to take the right arm up and back. Good. Breathe into the belly here so you feel it more in your back. And then come out on an inhale. Take a nice big inhale to come back to center. Shake your hips out. We'll do the other side. Reach the right arm up on the inhale. And then exhale, reach it through. Squeeze the core muscles. Inhale back up. So moving with the breath, which we also call vinyasa. Sometimes people do this thing called power yoga, which is kind of a vinyasa style yoga where you're moving and breathing. Every movement, you just move a lot. Drop your shoulder to the ground, twisting into this. Maybe take your left hand over your head. Just try not to collapse your left shoulder down. Keep twisting open. See where you can push your breath into. All right, and a nice big inhale all the way back up. From here, just wind all the way onto the sit bones, all the way around, with your feet on the ground, and your fingertips facing your sit bones if you can. If you can't, just kind of work on that. Just keep turning them as much as you can each practice. And we're going to round the spine, so tuck the tailbone, tuck the shoulders in, and press that middle back towards the ground. So there's your exhale. On your inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest, arch your back, and exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. And one more. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. All right, roll all the way down onto the ground. Bring your knees into your chest. Just hold on to your knees for a moment. Rock left and right, and see if you can relax your whole back body. Then put your feet on the ground, and we'll do a hip stretch before we kind of close our practice. Left ankle on top of the right thigh. And now sometimes for people it just feels good to kind of rock and push this left leg out. And for other people, it doesn't feel that good. So, however it feels to you, just do what you can. Just don't try not to hurt your knee. Don't hurt your knee. And then if you can go a little deeper, you're going to pull that right knee in. Maybe keep both feet flexed. When you keep your left foot flexed, it definitely helps kind of tighten all these muscles up to the knee. So that's going to help protect your knee a little bit. And again, if you pull your knee into your chest, you can rock a little left and right. You might get a little more out of this. Here's where I see a lot of people kind of straining. And so if that is the case, definitely try to relax through your neck and shoulders. Let gravity pull you back to the mat. Push your tailbone down. Everything should be relaxed. This is just a hip stretch, not a straining stretch. And if that's the case that you need a little pillow, that's totally fine too. All right, let's do the other side. Right ankle on top of the left thigh. If you sit a lot, this is one that you probably need to do often, and you can actually do it as you're sitting. So you can just pull your ankle on top of your thigh and see about relaxing your knee down towards the ground. Feel this figure four stretch. let that leg go. Cross your right leg all the way over your left leg. Drop both knees to the left and stretch your arms out to the side to get a little twist. You can just look up at the ceiling. Try to relax your shoulders towards the ground. They don't have to touch. I want to just feel heavy through those shoulders, heavy through the hips and legs. Sometimes people find this to be a little bit too much, so stacking the knees might be better for you. Just take a few more breaths down into the belly. And we'll bring the legs up and around to the right. Cross your left leg over your right leg if you're crossing your knees. Relax through the shoulders, relax into the hips. And then back to center. And find a shape that works for you for Shavasana. That's our last pose. And a lot of times people have some trouble with this pose because they just want to be done and move on to the next thing, but this is the most important part. So find something that feels good so you can just enjoy it and not worry about rushing off. So I really love constructive rest, which is the feet on the ground, knees bent, and I just like to focus on relaxing my lower back and my hips, feel really heavy. They don't have to do any work right now. They're not carrying any burdens. You can tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, open your arms toward the ceiling, or your hands at least. And so if you like this one, stay with this one. Or maybe straighten your legs out all the way on the floor. Or another one that's kind of nice is you put your feet together and your knees go out wide. You could even reach your arms overhead a little bit and rest here. So sometimes when life feels stressful, or you just need to sort of turn down the noise a little bit, this is a good thing to practice. You don't even have to do a yoga practice. You can just get on the ground and let gravity pull on you a little bit. And let your muscles release. It's a good way to reset your energy. So feel how it feels to just take these nice, gentle breaths. See if you can relax your face and your jaw, your throat. And if there's any thoughts coming up for you, or any sensations in your body that feel like uncomfortable or tension, try to just stay with your breath. If it's thoughts, just breathe them away from you, like you're breathing some clouds. If you blew your breath out, the clouds could kind of float on by. You just kind of breathe it out of you. If you feel a tension inside of your body, then breathe into it. Give it some breath. And see if you can breathe that out of your body. When our bodies are clenching or clamping down or holding, it means we've got something in there that we don't want to deal with, or it's something that we're really holding tight to. Maybe you can just let it go for now. And so stay here as long as you like. It's a really nice practice. You could do this every single day, the whole practice, but you could do just the Shavasana part. Get on the ground for 5 minutes, relax, let your body connect with the earth, feel supported by it, feel relaxed, feel like you don't have to do anything. And it helps to reset your energy. And I like to sort of finish all my yoga practices with a little moment of gratitude. That can kind of help. If you have a gratitude journal, you could write a couple things down. And it could be, as simple as hot water in showers. That's usually on my list. A hot shower, I'm so grateful for. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has access to good food or good people in their lives that they love. So anything that you want to feel grateful for, remind yourself. and that can always help to reset your perspective. So thank you for practicing with me today. I hope that you feel good. Notice how you feel. Drink a lot of good water and keep doing your yoga practice. Modify it any way that you want, whatever works for you. You should like it and enjoy it because you should enjoy being in your body. And the more you move, the more you kind of breathe and get used to it, you can find where you need to let go of tension, and your body will just feel better on a regular basis. So again, thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste, and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. See you soon.